What's good with the fight fans? It's Kijana back with some fight predictions this week. UFC Fight Night, Blaydes versus Volkov. Looks like it's going to be a pretty decent card, man. I'm excited to do some picks for you guys this week. I know I didn't get mine out last week for you guys. I wanted to, I just didn't have time to do it. And I didn't feel like the card was going to be that great, and the card was actually pretty fucking good, man. Yeah, the card was pretty decent. I'm not going to do a recap or nothing like that, but yeah, there was a few fights that I really enjoyed watching on the last card. All right, I'm going to get straight into the prelims. Austin Hubbard versus Max Roskopf. I think that's how you say his last name. I'm not really sure. Austin Hubbard, a.k.a. Thud. 11-4 record, 4 KO/TKO wins, 2 sub wins, 1 sub loss. Lost last fight by unanimous decision to Mark Madsen. And that wasn't really a bad unanimous decision to have, a bad loss to have, because Mark Madsen's a fucking beast, man. We all know that. Olympic wrestler. And Austin Hubbard, man, he held his own, dude. He started to really put it on him towards the third round, the end of the third round. I think if he could have if that would have been a 5-round fight, Austin Hubbard probably would have beat him, because Mark Madsen was dealing with an injury, and he was also kind of getting tired. The first 2 rounds, I think he was expecting to beat him in the first round, honestly. But Hubbard is so durable that it's like just hard for, I think people underestimate him. He's just a durable fighter. He's got decent cardio. He's pretty well-rounded as well. So, yeah, Austin Hubbard I think he's going to be a pretty good fighter in that division. I think he just has a few things he needs to work on. He's 1-2 in the UFC. Fought Davy Ramos on his debut on short notice. I think it was like a week and a half. Could have been shorter. I can't remember. But yeah, this guy, like I said, he's durable. He's a gritty fighter, sort of a brawler at heart, it seems like. Very good double leg takedowns, decent top control and ground and pound. Pressures all of his opponents. Was the LFA lightweight champ before the UFC. So this guy has pretty good credentials, man. He's a good fighter, man. And he's fighting Max Roskopf. He's coming in on 6 days notice, 5-0 record, all submission victories, 4 rear naked choke wins and 1 anaconda choke. 4 out of his 5 fights were first round finishes. So this is going to be decent. He's coming on short notice, and 4 out of the 5 wins that he has were all in the first round. So is this guy going to have cardio at all? I have no clue. I didn't look up too many highlights of this dude or too much tape of this guy. But yeah, he's coming in on short notice to replace Joe Selecki. That would have been a good fight too if Selecki would have stayed on the card. Has a very sneaky overhand right, good top control and transitions, and he has a height advantage in this one. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. But I'm going to roll with Austin Hubbard. Hubbard is the underdog. I see a lot of people talking about Max, saying he's going to get a submission over Hubbard. I just don't see it. Hubbard's very durable. He's not the type of guy that's going to tap or let you put him in a submission. You're going to really have to work for that shit, and I just don't see it, man. Hubbard's had a full camp. I know it was to fight Joe Selecki, which is a totally different type of fighter, but Hubbard is just durable. I feel like he's going to get this. I feel like he's going to get this win. So even if it's a unanimous decision win or a split decision win, I feel like he's going to get the win. 6 days notice is super short, but this could be an upset. Max Roskopf or whatever could definitely pull off the upset. But I guess Austin Hubbard would be the one doing the upset, just because he is the underdog. He is the underdog in this fight, so which is interesting. I don't think he should be the underdog in this fight, but it's all good. Next fight, Roxanne Ferry versus Lauren Murphy, ranked 6 versus ranked 7. The Happy Warrior, 37 years old, 24-16 record, 4 KO/TKO wins, 5 sub wins, 1 KO/TKO loss. 3 sub losses. She beat Macy Barber by unanimous decision in her last fight, which she probably could have finished her if it would have been like one more round, because Macy Barber couldn't even stand up. That's insane. That's a fight that I never would have expected Roxanne Ferry. On my old video, I talked so high on Macy Barber, saying that she was going to probably get a first or second round finish. It did not play out like that. A lot of people say that she lost because of the injury. She was, excuse me, she was losing before the injury. Yeah, she was losing before the injury. Ferry was keeping that range. She was sticking out that jab very nicely, and Barber couldn't find the distance. She just couldn't get in there. It didn't matter what she did. She could not get in there to Roxanne Ferry's range, which I don't get how she couldn't. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that fight, because I was so confident in picking Macy Barber to just close that distance and knock her ass out. But man, Roxanne's tough, dude. She looks goofy as all ever, but she is tough. She almost TKO'd her. Roxanne Modafferi almost TKO'd Macy. Very impressive performance. Lost to Jennifer Maia before that. She lost twice to Jennifer Maia. Doesn't have the best wrestling and takedowns, but her trips against the cage are pretty decent. Very strong grappler. She's just awkward in the cage. I feel like she's awkward in real, like, out of the cage too. So I think that just transitions to the cage as well. She's very flat-footed. She's hittable. She doesn't move her head at all. But she's pretty decent with her range, I noticed in her fights. She has a ton of heart though, man, and her cardio is fucking through the roof. It doesn't seem like she ever really gets tired. She's like a marathon runner in there. Roxanne Modafferi, man, I give her just dues, man. I give her just dues for sure, because she's tough, dude. A lot of people count her out and they just underestimate her and think that she's just kind of goofy, but don't let the looks fool you, man. She can fight. She can definitely fight. Not really standing too much, but she can pop out a jab and she can definitely get you to the ground and submit you. So she's fighting Lauren Murphy, aka Lucky, 36 years old, 12-4 record, 8 KO/TKO wins, 4 decision losses, on 2-fight win streak over Andrea Lee and Mara Romero Barella. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about Lauren Murphy. She's an ex-junkie. That's cool that she's a fighter now, but every single time I think of an ex-junkie fighting, I just feel like fragile bones. I don't know why. I just feel like they have fragile bones. I feel like they're more susceptible to being knocked out. And that's just my bias. I'm not saying that's a fact or nothing like that, but this is something in my head that just goes directly to my head. Oh, this person's an ex-junkie. They probably have fragile bones. But nah, I'm not taking nothing from Lauren Murphy. She's a decent fighter. She's ranked 7 for a reason. But then again, this division doesn't really have too many people. She's durable. She's tough. She's never been finished. Pressures all of her opponents. She has nasty elbows and knees. Very impressive performance versus Mara Romero Barella. She fucking knocked her ass out with that knee. Yeah, a lot of people are picking Roxanne Modafferi. These two actually grappled before together too. I watched the highlight of it, and they kind of stalemated each other. So I don't think Roxanne's gonna be that much better of a grappler and submission specialist than Lauren Murphy. And I think Lauren Murphy has better stand-up. So for that reason, I'm gonna pick Lauren Murphy on this one. But I mean, this is really just toss a fucking coin, and yeah, it's a gutsy one. I probably won't bet that on my parlays at all. But I do feel like Lauren Murphy will get the job done. Next fight, Frank Camacho versus Justin James. I guess he's not fighting Matt Frivola anymore. This is new. I'm looking at the UFC website right now. This is completely new to me. I thought he was fighting Matt Frivola. I don't know what the fuck's going on now. But yeah, I wrote notes down for Matt Frivola, so I don't know who this guy is. So I was gonna pick Frank Camacho anyways. A lot of people were gonna pick Matt Frivola. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Frank Camacho in this fight just because of how short a notice this guy's coming in. But yeah, the Crank, 22-8 record, 17 KO/TKO wins, 2 sub wins, 4 KO/TKO losses, 2 sub losses. Tough opponent for anybody, dude. Frank Camacho, people always count this guy out. I don't know why. He doesn't have the best fight IQ in my own opinion. Always comes to fight though. He always comes to bang. Lost his last fight by rear naked choke to Beneil Dariush in round 1. He beat Nick Hine before that, but that's not really that impressive performance. Nick Hine's Nick Hine. There's not really much to say about that. Only loss that he had that was really bad was to Jeff Neal, and Jeff Neal was literally fucking him up. He was fucking him up the entire fight, and then he caught him at the end of that last minute with that head kick, that vicious head kick, and just Frank Camacho's whole body just collapsed, dude. That was a crazy fucking fight, dude. I knew Jeff Neal was gonna win. I didn't know he was gonna win in spectacular fashion like that, though, because I mean, Camacho is pretty tough, dude. He's durable and he can take a punch, but he tends to want to just brawl in his fights, and he pays for it every time. When he just lets his hands go wild and shit, he always gets clipped with something. But he's a decent striker. He has vicious slams and takedowns, strong in clinch situations. Very similar style and body type to Robbie Lawler. Frank Camacho reminds me of a Robbie Lawler, but a not as good Robbie Lawler. Yeah, Robbie Lawler is like the 2.0 version of Frank Camacho, I guess. That's what I see. They have pretty much the same body type and the same kind of brawling style. But Robbie Lawler is he's so vicious, dude. And Frank Camacho is vicious, but just not to that level. And Robbie Lawler's way bigger. So, yeah. But next fight, Courtney Casey versus Jillian Robertson, ranked 15 versus non-ranked opponent. Jillian Robertson, the Savage, 7-4 record, 1 KO/TKO win, 5 sub wins, 1 KO loss to Macy Barber, 1 sub loss to Myra Bueno Silva by armbar. She has a ton of armbar wins and a ton of rear naked choke wins. Very, very experienced grappler, technical and strategic on the ground. She really knows how to get you into positions, in awkward positions, where she knows how to just put you in a submission quickly and tap you out. Or she'll get on top of you and fuck you up and ground and pound you. So we see that too. Only TKO win she does have over Sarah Froda, but I mean it was a nasty TKO victory. I'm hoping that her striking has improved a little bit, because she's not the best striker, but she's not a horrible striker. She tends to kind of just, when people overpressure her and she can't get it to the ground, she tends to back herself against the cage. And we've seen that with the Macy Barber fight. Macy Barber she didn't have an answer for it. She couldn't get out of that situation. She didn't have no lateral movement. She just kind of sat there on the cage and let her head get bounced back into it. So, yeah, there wasn't really an answer for it. But, yeah, Courtney Casey, a.k.a. Cast Iron, 9-7 record, 3 KO/TKO wins, 4 sub wins, 1 sub loss, 6 decision losses. Only been finished by Pearl Gonzalez by armbar back in 2013. Usually loses to good grapplers, such as Felice Herrig, Cynthia Calvillo, Claudia Gadelia. And Jillian Robertson's a good grappler, so I could see this going the same way. Courtney Casey is kind of tall for the division, but she just doesn't have good takedown defense. And usually tall people have pretty decent takedown defense, because the long legs are just a longer body. It's harder to take them down. She has a good amount of armbar and rear naked choke wins. Horrible takedown defense. She beat Mero Romero by armbar in her last fight, which was pretty impressive. I picked Mero Romero. Actually, I take that back. No, I didn't. I picked Courtney Casey. My first gut instinct was to pick Mero Romero Barella, but I ended up picking Courtney Casey. She incorporates pretty good leg kicks as well. She's never really out of the fight. She has a ton of heart, man. Courtney Casey has a ton of heart. She's been around for a little while now. But I'm picking Jillian Robertson on this one. A lot of people are leaning towards Courtney Casey because she has better striking, which she does. She does have better striking. I'll give her that. But I'm going to roll with the grappler on this one. I think Jillian Robertson will get it done. Next fight, Marc-Andre Barriault versus Oscar Piahota. Barriault, a.k.a. Powerbar, 11-4 record, 8 KO/TKO wins, 4 decision losses, durable. He's heavy-handed. Very low volume striker. Wild with his hands. Shin's always in the air. Good double leg takedown. Good ground and pound. His ground and pound is pretty brutal, actually, when he gets you there. He's on a 3-fight unanimous decision losing streak. He's 0-3 in the UFC, man. So he was 11-1 when he joined the UFC. He hasn't got a single win. All of his fights he's lost by unanimous decision. So he's fighting another guy, Piahota, 11-3 record, 5 KO/TKO, 5 sub wins, 1 KO/TKO loss, 2 sub losses. On 3-fight losing streak, lost by rear naked choke, armbar, and KO in his last fight. He's a well-rounded fighter. It's just not transitioning to the UFC that good. He was 11-0 when he joined the UFC. Now he has those 3 losses on there. Decent striking, pretty good footwork. He moves around pretty good. He has a decent submission game. Maybe it's his nerves, dude. I don't really know. Maybe fighting without a crowd and being in a silent arena, maybe that could actually play a good, like a positive role on him getting his first win in the UFC. Because I know a lot of these fighters come in with a lot of nerves. Especially, like, if you haven't even got a win yet and you know that this could be your last fight, you might be cut from the UFC. And you know your opponent hasn't got a win in the UFC either, so you know he's going to come even more hungry. Oscar Piahota has more output than Marc-Andre, but I'm rolling with Marc-Andre for this one. He is the underdog in this, too. I just feel like he could clip Piahota and probably knock him out. I can't trust Piota's chin. He's only been knocked out once, but I just can't trust that chin. He's been finished all 3 times. And Marc-Andre hasn't been finished his 3 times, so I think he has a better chance of getting this. But you can't really base it off their last fights. They're fighting each other now, so they're going to be fighting different opponents than they fought before. But yeah, I'm rolling with Marc-Andre. Next fight, Tecia Torres versus Briana Van Buren. Tecia Torres ranked 11, man. She's still up there, dude. I can't believe Tecia Torres is still up there, honestly. Briana Van Buren, a.k.a. The Bull, 9-2 record, 2 KO/TKO wins, 3 sub wins, 2 decision losses. Coming off big debut win over Liviana Souza by unanimous decision. She's only 4 feet 11 inches, dude. She's super short. She's fun size. She's short and stocky, thick frame, built like a girl version of DC. And she trains in out of San Jose too. She's from Gilroy, so it's kind of weird because there's a lot of like stocky, different like short fighters like coming out of that area, like DC. Not even just out of that area, but they're coming to the UFC now. I think DC kind of, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that he laid the groundwork, but he kind of laid the blueprint on how to be good in the UFC at that size and being that short. Pat Barry's another guy who kind of laid the groundwork for that kind of shit. Matt Serra, like all these short, stocky fighters, they made it work for him. Matt Serra has great BJJ, so he knows like it doesn't matter if you're taller and you have longer reach. If I take you to the ground, I can submit you. I know this is going off topic, but Briana Van Buren is a wrestler, so if she takes Tecia Torres to the ground, which Tecia Torres has pretty good wrestling as well, the tiny tornado. Briana Van Buren's just wiry fighter, dude. She's durable. She's got good cardio, explosive, and she hits pretty hard. Very good trips and double leg takedowns. Underrated BJJ for sure. Pressures all of her opponents. Vicious elbows and ground and pound. And she's relentless. She keeps going for you, dude. She'll keep going for something if she's on top of you. She's going to keep ground and pounding you with elbows, hammer fists, punches. Or she's going to look for a submission. Or she's going to set up a lot of shit. She's going to throw a lot of punches and set something up to where you just leave yourself open and she submits you. That's kind of her style of fighting, which is cool because it's been working for her. She only got one fight in the UFC, but it's been working. And the only losses that she has are by decision, which is interesting because Tecia Torres 10-5 record, 1 sub win, 9 decision wins, 5 decision losses. Tecia Torres is only lost by decision too, and she's also very scrappy on a 4-fight losing streak to Andrade, Joanna, Wei Li, and Marina Rodriguez. Those are all top 10 worthy opponents. Tecia Torres has fought the cream of the crop in that division. Last win was over Michelle Waterson in 2017 by unanimous decision. She's a wild striker. Throws fucking 4 to 5 punch combos in flurries. Throws pretty nice body kicks as well. She incorporates those in some of her combos. Very good cardio. She doesn't really gas. Decent wrestling and takedowns. Throws good side kicks and front kicks to the body and to the head. So Tecia Torres, the only thing about her, it doesn't seem like she's really progressed much. It seems like she's kind of the same fighter she was when she first joined the UFC. And that kind of worries me because now she's fighting a new breed of fighters. And all this new generation of fighters, they're incorporating so much more in their game. They're like sponges, dude. They soak everything up. So I'm rolling with Briana Van Buren. But at the same time, Tecia Torres is not she's not a bad play, dude. If you're going to pick an underdog, Tecia Torres would definitely be a decent underdog play. Because she does have good striking, and I feel like her striking might be better than Briana Van Buren's, but I feel like Van Buren's just going to fucking brute strength her to the ground, honestly. I feel like she's going to just get her to the ground. She looks so determined to just get another win and build her name up. So, yeah. But next fight, Clay Guida versus Bobby Green. Clay, the Carpenter Guida, 35-19 record, 7 KO/TKO wins, 13 sub wins, 2 KO/TKO losses, 10 submission losses. He's a veteran in the sport, Hall of Famer. Lost last fight to Jim Miller. He did catch Jim Miller, though. He almost knocked Jim Miller out. I picked Clay Guida in that fight. It was a crazy pick, but that was also a toss-em, fucking flip a coin in the air. You don't know who was going to win that one. And Jim Miller ended up regaining his senses because Clay Guida got too antsy, rushed in, got hit with that counter right overhand, and then got put in a guillotine choke in round 1. He got rocked. He's got great cardio and good wrestling, and his wild striking sometimes just doesn't do good for him because he leaves his chin out there. But yeah, man, Clay Guida's been around for forever, dude. I'm not really excited to watch Clay Guida fight anymore. I never really was excited to watch Clay Guida fight, honestly. Nothing against the guy. That's great that he's still healthy enough to fight and all that, but I think when your time is up, your time is up. And Clay Guida's time has been up for a while. No one really wants to watch him fight anymore. We want to watch the new generation, the new breed of fighters, the people that are incorporating more into their game. We don't really want to see these old guys anymore. No offense. They had their time to shine. And he's fighting another dude, Bobby Green. Bobby King Green, 24-10 record, 8 KO/TKO wins, 9 sub wins, 2 KO/TKO losses, 2 sub losses on 2 fight unanimous decision losing streak. He always comes short. Bobby Green always comes short on decision losses. He goes to split decisions a lot. He's got a great Philly shell boxing style, good head movement, good footwork. He's aggressive. He's got a very aggressive style. Underrated submission game. A lot of people forget that Bobby Green has really good submissions. Good takedowns. Tim Means and Poirier were the only people that KO'd Bobby Green. So, yeah, take that in consideration. Tim Means was pretty dope. He's still pretty good. He's just getting up there in age. Bobby Green's getting up there in age, too. And Dustin Poirier, man, we all seen what he can do. So, yeah, but I'm rolling with Bobby Green on this one. He's going to get the KO. That's my guess on that one. All right, we're going into the main card. Jim Miller versus Roosevelt Roberts. I'm not even going to talk too much about this one just because I'm picking Roosevelt Roberts. I'm not going to jump into this one. I just talked about how Jim Miller beat Clay Guida. He did lose his last fight to Scott Holtzman. He just got outclassed. Career's coming to an end. Jim Miller is fucking old. He is up. I'm not saying he's literally old, but for fighting years, he's old. Doesn't do good under pressure. He's a durable fighter. He's got decent cardio. He usually lasts 2 rounds, sometimes 3 for a little while in the beginning of the 3rd round, but he always tends to gas out. He's got great grappling and submission game. Roosevelt Roberts is pretty well rounded. Great striking, great grappling, great submission game, dude. He'll catch you in a submission. Roosevelt Roberts just talked about how he's kind of mad at himself, like he can't get a knockout to save his life. And I think you spoke a little too soon, Roosevelt. I think you're going to get a knockout on this fight. I think you're going to knock out Jim Miller. Something's telling me you're going to knock him out. So, yeah, man, get that fucking knockout, dude. Get that bonus, dude. You deserve it. I'm rolling with Roosevelt Roberts, though, man. I'm a big fan of him. He's got a 10-1 record, man. And not just because of that, but I like his fighting style. I like his attitude. He's a humble warrior. I like that. But next fight, Lyman Good, a.k.a. Cyborg versus Belal. Remember the name Muhammad. This fight was already scheduled. Lyman Good has a 21-5 record. Belal Muhammad has a 16-3 record. Yeah, Lyman Good has the reach advantage. I feel like Belal Muhammad has the cardio advantage for sure. Lyman Good tends to gas out within a round or two. I think it's just his body frame, his body type, and so much power and force that he brings to the table. Like just what he throws. He throws everything into every punch. If he clips Belal's going to sleep. But if Belal can just keep grappling him, taking him to the ground, which it's been, Lyman Good has definitely improved on his grappling defense because his takedown defense. Because Chance Rencounter is a pretty good grappler, and he couldn't get him to the ground at all. And Lyman Good beat him in the 3rd round. But yeah, like I said before, this fight was already scheduled. Lyman Good tested positive for COVID. I'm not going to really get into that. He's recovered from it. That's great. That's great. He's able to go back out there and put on a great performance for the fans. Able to provide for his family and shit. That's good. He's all healthy. Really looking forward to this fight. This is one that I was looking forward to when they first scheduled it. My first gut instinct was picking Belal Muhammad, and something was telling me to pick Lyman Good, but I think I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna pick Belal Muhammad on this one. I did put a question mark by this one. And it has I put a question mark by this one just because I'm so iffy on it. But the first time this fight was scheduled, I was gonna pick Belal Muhammad. So fuck it, I'm gonna pick Belal Muhammad still, and I like Belal Muhammad a little bit more than Lyman Good. Lyman Good's exciting to watch though, dude. He can knock you out at any moment. He got submitted by Damian Maia very fast though. I wish Belal Muhammad would just incorporate a little bit more BJJ in his style. It would work so well with his cardio, his pace, his pressure, and his takedowns. So, yeah, but I'm rolling with him. Next fight, ranked 6 versus ranked 10. Raquel Pennington versus Marion Reneau. Marion Reneau is 42 years old. Raquel Pennington is 31 years old. They're both old. Raquel Pennington, 31, doesn't sound old, but for fighting and for how long she's been fighting for and the type of fighter she is, she's a brawler. Yeah, when you're a brawler, your career usually ends pretty short. You get hit a lot. The fighters that don't get hit a lot have long careers. Marion Reneau has a pretty good kickboxing background. Reneau, she's 9-5 record. Raquel Pennington is 10-8 record. I don't know. I'm not really excited to watch this one. I'm really not. I don't get excited for Raquel Pennington fights. I just don't. But I am picking her to win this, surprisingly. I normally don't pick Raquel Pennington. But she's pretty durable. She's tough. She's gritty. She can take a punch. She can give a punch. She can close that distance. If she can close that distance on Marion Reneau, she'll definitely win. But I could see Reneau chopping those fucking legs down. I could see her chopping those legs down. But she's pretty much got the same game plan. She started late in the UFC and just in fighting in general. So 42 is kind of like, it's old, but at the same time, it's kind of not, because she started so late. You see some of these fighters where they're starting at 19, 20, 21, 22, and by the time they're 30, they look old as fuck. Their body's worn down. Like Thiago Alves, the pit bull, like, he started so young that now everybody's like, man, he's only 32 or 33 or 34, whatever he is. But the way he fights is like he's old. So it's kind of weird how the body works like that. I think sometimes it's better to start a little bit later. And then for some people, it's good when you start young. So I think it all really depends if you're a late bloomer or not. If you're a late bloomer, fuck it, start later. Might work to your advantage. You're done growing. You don't have to like grow into your body anymore. Like Chase Hooper, he still has to grow into his body, so he's just so awkward when he fights. But he's good. He's gonna be pretty good. I think if he works on his striking, he's gonna be a really good fighter. But anyways, I don't know how I got to Chase Hooper. I was just rambling on. Next fight, Josh Emmett, ranked 8 versus Shane Burgos. Hurricane Shane, man, ranked number 10. I'm a huge fan of fucking Shane Burgos. I've been a huge fan ever since I read his backstory about him, his spine injury that he had. It's kind of an interesting story. But yeah, Josh Emmett's 15-2 record. Shane Burgos is 13-1 record. Shane Burgos has the fucking pace, pressure, and the strategic ability to just demolish Josh Emmett. He really does. Josh Emmett is a power striker. He looks for that windup and that one-hitter quitter, and if it hits you, you're fucked. We've seen it in the Michael Johnson fight. We've seen that if he hits you with that one-hitter quitter, you're going to sleep. You're going to sleep. Like Josh Emmett has that body type, that frame, that stocky center of gravity, and he just winds up and he throws everything into those punches, and he puts your lights out. It's exciting to watch. I like Josh Emmett too. He's a great fighter. He's really exciting to watch. But I just feel Shane Burgos, man. Shane Burgos gets hit though. He leaves his chin in the air and he puts his hands down low. So if he does this at all in this fight, which he probably will, I can see Shane Burgos getting rocked. But his recovery time is pretty fucking good too. He's been rocked in a few of his fights, and he seems to recover fast. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just willpower and heart. I don't know what it is. But Shane Burgos, man, his cardio is phenomenal. He comes in ready to bang, dude. And his striking output is insane. He's got good ground game. He's pretty much well-rounded, dude. Shane Burgos is going to be top 5 pretty soon. I think after this fight and then maybe one more, and he gets one more win after that, he's going to be top. He's probably going to get a title shot soon if he gets 1 or 2 more wins, decent wins over decent people. Josh Emmett, and then one more big name, he might get a title shot after that. Who knows, man? But yeah, Shane Burgos, man, he's a good fighter, dude. He's underrated. A lot of people don't talk about Shane Burgos, but he's underrated. I'm rolling with him to get the job done. But don't count Josh Emmett out. I am gonna pick Shane Burgos in my parlay picks, but yeah, you can't count Josh Emmett out. I picked Michael Johnson to beat Josh Emmett, and I was totally surprised when Michael Johnson got knocked out at the end. It was insane. He was winning the whole entire fight. Yeah, it was just insane. Okay, main fucking event: Curtis Razor Blaydes versus Alexander Volkov. Excuse me. They both have 80-inch reach. Alexander Volkov has longer legs. He should have longer legs. He's 6'7". I'm not going to talk too much about this one because Volkov, he's not going to beat Curtis Blaydes. It's not happening. I see a lot of people saying that Volkov's could piece him up on the feet. And you're right. He could piece him up on the feet, but it's not going to happen. Curtis Blaydes is pretty smart, man. He kind of knows when he needs to take you down. Even when he gets rocked, he's like, okay, I'm going to take you down. I got rocked. I felt a little bit of that power. I don't really want to feel it anymore. And he'll take you down if it's not too late. The only time where he's got rocked and it was too late to go for a takedown or get the takedown was when he fought Francis Ngannou, his only 2 losses. Francis Ngannou stopped him both times. If he would have went straight for the takedown, maybe even, I don't know, I don't want to say like a far takedown across the cage or a desperate takedown, but if he would have strategically maybe did a little bit of some fakes, some feints or something like that in there, threw some feints to get Ngannou, I don't know, kind of off of his game, and then went for a takedown, maybe he would have did a little bit better. I don't know. Ngannou's he's a scary dude. He's beastie. He can fuck anybody up at any time. But Volkov can knock you out at any time too. But Curtis Blaydes, he has the power to knock you out. He can knock you out almost in any position on the ground as well. So, I mean, when you have that kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong, Alexander Volkov, he has submission skills too, man. He has submission skills too, underrated too. But I don't see him submitting Curtis Blaydes. I just don't. I see Curtis Blaydes just fucking Volkov up. I see him going to town. Curtis wants that title shot again. He wants another opportunity to get the belt. And the next time that he gets the opportunity to get the belt, I don't think he's going to let that. I think he's going to win it. I don't think he's going to let it go. So, yeah. Ngannou's just Curtis Blaydes' kryptonite. But I definitely see Curtis Blaydes winning this fight. If you guys think differently, comment. Put your comments down in there. I want to know who you guys are picking. I want to know some of your guys' parlays. After Saturday's fights, I'll put my parlays that I rolled with. I don't like to do it before. I don't like letting you guys know my parlays before, but I'll let you know my parlays after on each one of my each one of my videos. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good card, man. So make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, comment. I always like to hear your guys' input. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. I see all my regulars that come in, and I definitely appreciate all that, man. And if you guys know anybody else who likes fight predictions and likes to hear the breakdowns, fucking tell them to subscribe to my channel or at least watch one of my videos. I appreciate it all. I appreciate the love. Stay safe. Enjoy the weekend. And I'm going to be doing another giveaway pretty soon, so stay tuned.